Good morning. Well, welcome. Welcome to. Yes! Well, yes for me. And yes for all of us, because I think it's time to move on to the final. This is the final COVID flow. And um, the final COVID flow, the final Saturday morning experience at 9 a.m. I have a sense that I will be back, but I want to. I want to close that chapter, and as we open the studio, I want to be available on Saturday to be there. So we will look at how we move this forward. And you always know how much I love to see who is here, because that helps me so much in speaking to you. I don't think it's any mystery or secret that well, one thing I've certainly learned this year is that I appreciate so much the back and forth and being able to respond in the moment to you, which happens in a live situation and can happen on Zoom. But this situation where I'm sitting here talking to myself, basically, has been more challenging. And yet it has been, when I look at the last year, and I'm certain that you probably have looked at it as well, that there's been parts of yourself that you've had to bring to this situation that out of duty and out of your commitment, that was tough, and it didn't matter because you put that aside. And I would say that is my experience of these Saturday mornings. And usually once I'm back there rolling around on the mat, I've found my way. But I look forward to seeing you again, nonetheless. And for you guys who are far away, we will be keeping the Zoom classes going. I hope that you sign up. And I probably shouldn't say this yet, but I'm certain that there will be a price increase for the studio. There will have to be. And everybody who's been on membership is going to be protected. They're going to keep their pricing. So, if you've thought about making a commitment to breathe, it's a really good time to do it. I'll just say that. Okay? All right. And thank you so much for being here with me this year. So I never do this. I never say where we're going beforehand. Almost never. And see up there, can you see up there in the corner, these are from my front yard, these bird of paradise. And you notice this really interesting shape. See that? So we know the bird of paradise posture. We're going to look at this posture from a variety of different angles. And I guess, you've got a leg and you've got a leg and God knows where the arm is, but I think it's so valuable. All of these postures have names. And in the practice, I think that Americans generally, Westerners, are really new, very new in their understanding of what the practice is about. I think that we're still, we're very intrigued and passionate about what we can see and feel. The science of it, which I love, the physical practice, but there's a whole other level of the practice which has to do with the imagination, and it's a more subtle practice, and we have some interesting relationship as Westerners with imagination. The fact is that we are imagining all the time. Often we're not aware of what we're imagining. And first, there's the issue of thinking that our thoughts are real and thinking that they're ours. There's actually no proof that that's the case. Let's assume that we're actually in a thought stream, and that through practice, we learn how to observe and choose. Yeah? And then secondly, imagining, how sometimes you'll find yourself in a pattern where there is no imagination, you are plagued by a particular reaction and it continues to occur again and again. And there's ways of shifting that so that an opening can happen, and all of a sudden then we are capable of imagining how we'd like things to go, as opposed to being a ping pong ball in our lives. So imagination in the practice, sometimes when we take a shape, we literally want to feel internally, what would that feel like to be that shape? Well, I love these this morning because Bird of Paradise, that opening, it's spring, they're blooming, and we're all looking now. I know I am. I'm looking at what vestiges of the last year I continue to carry with me, and there are certainly vestiges. And then what is it that I'm opening to? What is it that we're opening to? What are the opportunities ahead of us? How is it that this thought stream works that can potentially limit our potential? So let's look at a little bit of opening to our potential through taking this shape again and again and again. Okay? All right, let's lie back and bring the knees into the chest. I need a sip of chai before we go there. And let's wrap the arms around the legs, and I should tell you that it could be very helpful for you to have a strap. Yeah, just make yourself like a little seed, letting the thighs draw toward the ribs, shoulders soften. And right away, we become aware of the space between the pubic bone and the sternum, drawing in just a little bit. Just a little bit. And there'll be this constant theme of pulling in slightly, while at the same time keeping the heart open, the heart area and the rib cage open so the breath can flow. And then holding, interlacing your fingers around your right shin, extend the left leg, pull out. Drawing the thigh in toward the ribs. So these seed-like shapes, we have postures actually that are called seed postures. And switching, there are seed sounds in this practice, which is really neat. It's like we're, if we're looking at the imagination part of this practice, we can plant seeds inside our own body. You know, we do that by, well, I'll do it when I'm teaching by talking about love a little bit and opening the heart, is planting a seed there that might have not have been there before. Good. Then bring both knees in. And for a moment, we'll take happy baby without using the arms. So you might move back and forth here. You can push one foot toward the ceiling and keep your legs quite active. So you're drawing the front of the left thigh down toward the floor and then the right thigh. Good. Then come back to the middle and bring both thighs in. And then widen your toes. Push through the balls of the feet and send the legs long as they're willing to go this morning. So we stretch the back of the legs. Push through your heels. Okay? Then point your toes, almost curl the toes. Possible? Feel the whole back down on the ground. And are you still zipped? Good. Then let's just take hold of the feet for a moment. Let the legs relax. Feel the passive stretch here. Tailbone still down. Breath goes wide. Wide into the back of the ribs as well. And we're all opening to spring. wherever we may be, whatever spring may look like where we are. Good, the courage to open, yes. We take the left leg long, and let's roll onto the side. Place your head in your hand for a moment. Now you might bend the knee slightly, because if you take the right leg off, you feel how it's like a balance pose. See what you can do here. Okay, then send the leg up. So in this variation, this is why we have the old stories in the tradition engage our imagination, and they help us understand ourselves. So there's one story, well, there's two stories of a god in this position. Well, that's not true. There's one story of a god and one story of a very wise man in this position. One is Vishnu on the ocean of milk, and the other is the Buddha, just reclining back on the side, and all kinds of things happen in both stories. So we just send the leg up. You know, what would we do with those stories if we were hearing them? Well, we would probably relate a little bit with that wisdom. We just look at our own relationship to wisdom. The fact that way inside here, all secrets are known. We just have to calm this thing enough to be able to listen to our own heart. Now we release, so you can either roll to the other side. I like staring at the camera, so we will turn. Some of us will turn and then begin again. Feel what it's like here. Feel that lovely stretch along the back of the neck, side of the neck, and then up we go. See bird of paradise on its side. Yeah, so one of the things about the courage to open is, well, asking the question, what are we opening to? But just hanging out with the question as opposed to trying to find the answer. So trying to find the answer ends up spinning the wheels, so we just hang out with the question. You know, what's it like to be open? How do I open to this moment? Good, reaching the leg. Knee may be bent. Wonderful. And then release. And let's come on hands and knees now. So neutral spine, find the zip. And a little cat-cow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rounding. And let's begin that at the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale. And two more. Good, last one, whole spine. Now come back to neutral spine. And then up onto the knees. Without using the arms, can we take the right leg out, turn the toes away or forward, find the zip, and then let's extend this way. And with that image of God's creation in the form of bird of paradise, imagine taking that shape. You know, all of these postures have these shapes that are associated with stories that can help us understand our lives a little better. Inhale, reach up. Come to the other side now. And we can literally imagine from the inside out when we're taking a shape, as we get to know the story, if that's something we become interested in. It speaks to some of us and not others, and that's totally fine. Good. Now infuse the body with breath. Go looking around. What does that mean? Go looking around in the areas of the body that could use a little breath. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's release. Come on to the fingertips. Just for a moment. We've been working with the fingertips a lot lately. So when you come onto the tips, you might find that you come onto the digit itself. See if you can get right up onto the tip. Okay, from here you might play with tucking the toes under, seeing if the knees lift off. The answer might be absolutely not. And it might be, well, only for a second. And if it hurts, then don't do it. Good. Now put the palms down. Index fingers forward. Knees bent, lift the hips up. Downward facing dog. Good. Come up high onto the balls of the feet. Stretching open the soles of the feet. Lift the pelvis as high as you can. Let the neck hang long and externally spiral your upper arm bones a little bit. We inhale here. Exhale, look past the hands and step forward. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. And fold over bent knees, please. Grasp your elbows. Feel your feet root into the floor. The four corners of the feet root. And the back becomes soft, as does the neck and the head. Feel into the jaw. Feel into the upper palate of your mouth. Soft palate. And the skull. And then breathe wide in the side ribs. Now knees are bent. Let's slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Sweep the arms all the way up. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Lifting heels stack right over the balls, reaching up through the fingertips. Steadying the gaze. Gaze is so important. Where we place our mind. Good. Now find the zipper from pubic bone up to the chest. Zip up what I often call the old man pants. But notice the chest is still free and fluid. Inhale. Exhale. Heels land. Arms descend. Good. Pause. Let's bring the palms together. And we open with the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonat Prachodayat. Sweep the arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Hands come to shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, palms down. Step back to plank pose. And let's pause in plank. Pushing back through the heels a lot. Good. Wake up the whole body. Find a little space between the shoulder blades, as we often do. And from here, would you bring your right knee to your right elbow? And you might even take it beyond. See where it will go. And then back. Foot lands. And left knee, elbow, maybe beyond. Maybe all the way to the tricep. And then back. We inhale. Exhale, knees down. Body comes down. Fingertips graze the floor. Root your legs. Point your toes back. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull the mat. Stay out of the shoulders. Grow the spine, just like a a snake or serpent. We inhale. Exhale, down we come. Tuck toes under. Lift hips back, but slide the arms in so the palms face up between the legs, resting your forehead down. See how far back they'll go. Thumbs are touching, and you notice now that the upper back is probably widening. We take a couple breaths. Notice if you've got your toes tucked under that your soles of your feet can open here and the roots of the toes can lengthen. Good, one big breath in. And slowly find your way out of that. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, and step or float forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, push the ground away, rise up. Extending the arms up. Exhale, release the arms. Good, still with me? Let's see that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Now let's take the right leg back behind us, knee to the floor, top of the foot to the floor, and slowly rise. You could take the hands to the thighs first. Good, desk workers, it's nice to have the hands of the thighs so the hip flexors can open. And then extending the arms whenever you're ready. You can interlace or you could grasp the elbows. But we'll just call this action the zipper, okay? And then we want to continue to keep the space at the chest. That will be a recurring theme. Growing your shape any amount. You know, we grow up, we grow down, we grow out, we grow in, we grow. We inhale. And then exhale, release the fingertips to the floor, flex your left foot, and fold forward over your left leg any amount. Pulling the left leg back behind us. Maybe we widen the toes. Good, then forward once again. And walk your left foot over to the left slightly, and then see if the forearms can come to the floor. I think this is like a lizard pose, isn't it? We tuck the toes under, maybe, and we take the right leg off the floor, pushing back through the heel. Check the zipper here. Only because you are curious, we could slide the left arm right just around the outside of the left foot. And if at any point I say something that does not work, then obviously fantastic. Now we know. Find a way to be in it without pain. That part's really important. No pain. Okay, left leg back behind us, lower through. Inhaling. Exhale back. Good, wake up your downward dog, lifting the pelvis upward. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then push ground away, rising, extending, and fold forward, out and down again. Then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left leg back, knee to the floor. Sinking in. Okay, ready? Zip right up. And we go looking around inside for anywhere that there happens to be some holding and see if we can just relax a little bit. I use that metaphor that I love so much about polishing the mirror of the heart. We're polishing in this practice. We go looking. We want to know where's the extra accumulation, the garbage. And just by becoming aware of it, that helps to polish, that helps to clear. We inhale, exhale, hands down, and pull your toes up. You could keep the knee bent, fold forward any amount. But it's a strong leg. That right leg is strong. Active engagement. It's almost like you're hoisting the right femur bone back into the socket a little bit. Good. You see the bird of paradise here? It's everywhere. Okay, now we come forward. And we walk the right foot out to the side just a little bit. Now hands can stay on the ground, or we slowly draw the forearms down. But you're checking the zipper again. Right? There's that lift. It's easy to collapse. Good. You might also find that the outside of your right hip could move back into midline a little bit. And we tenderly engage. We might then see if the right hand can come around the right foot. It's like we're sneaking it around, like no big deal. We might be here when we do it. Good. Tuck your left toes under, push back through your left leg now. Check the zipper. Okay, so from here, release your hand, sweep right leg back, and lower through. Inhale. Exhale, back downward dog. Good, pelvis lifts, strong legs. Come forward to plank, and then roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, or bring your right knee to the floor, okay? So we send the left arm up. We're in Vasisthasana, and we could do this a variety of ways. We could bring the knee to the floor, and we might from here send the left leg up. Any amount. We could also from here take the tree variation, left foot to the inside of the thigh, or we send the left leg up toward the ceiling. And the left arm up too. And you think about that bird of paradise shape. Well, you can see it right there, right? See how much extension is in that shape, like that confidence? Emulate that. Whatever shape you're taking. Then left hand lands. We come to the other side. Left knee may be down. Have your lines be long. Good. Reaching. You know, what are those petals doing? They're reaching for the sun. Think about that infusion back and forth, that relationship between the sun and that flower. And then slowly release. Good, come down. Inhale. Exhale back, downward dog. Good, probably created a little bit of heat there. We inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands, step or flip forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now separate your feet just a little bit wider. Turn your toes out. And then gradually make your way down into a squat. We'll go back and forth here a little bit. Hip flossing. See if you can find the length through the spine. How's it going over there? Okay, settle in. You probably know that if the heels are flying, you can roll up your mat, or you can find a block for under your sit bones if this is awkward. Just let the fingertips touch here. And let the pelvic bones descend. And then find the zipper. And the chest is open, the back of the shoulders, that whole respiratory complex, wide open. Steady the gaze. Okay, so will you contract the pelvic floor? You got to do that from the inside out. It's just a little bit of contraction. And from here, we'll lift the hips up. Keep your knees bent and walk your arms through your legs any amount. So you want to see if you can get, one way to do it is the L shape of your hand placed behind your heels. Push. That way you're seeing if you can get your shoulders close to the inside of your legs. However close you get, then push the feet into the floor so your hips lift. Head and neck relaxes, and then you can walk the hands through wherever they'll go. Doesn't matter where they'll go. So wherever you are, you can feel that shape inside of you. Whatever the body does physically really doesn't matter so much, as long as it doesn't hurt and you can feel that shape because you're imagining it. Now from here, if you wish to go on, you can turn your palms up and then away from each other. You might reach back behind the legs. Some people will grab the hands, most of us won't. And then we slowly release that, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And coming all the way up to standing. And come into mountain pose, your mountain. So did you find the zipper? All right, so from here we'll bring the thigh in close to the rib cage. Then we'll turn the leg out to the side and we'll install the foot anywhere along the left leg. The left leg roots. Zip up, extend the arms. Choose your branch composition. You could interlace or the arms can be wide. You could hold the elbows, whatever you prefer. We spend a little time here working it out, keeping the sense of the zipper and feeling the shape of that flower in our body. Even though this is tree pose, right? You could see it, you could be imagining a tree, which we often do. It's so useful. You know, trees and flowers, they don't think about whether or not to open, they just do it. So much more complicated being a human being, isn't it? We release the right foot, root, lift, and we open. Yeah, you can feel confidence, bravery, that like, hey, you know what? I'm a bird of paradise, unapologetically. And practice, this is where we do imagine. We imagine, sometimes we'll feel like, oh, I don't have these qualities. You know, I've got to work to obtain these qualities I like being more confident or more brave or more creative. I don't know, man. Could just feel what it would feel like in your body. Take a quality you're looking to develop and play with, well, what is that like? We've got to acquaint ourselves sometimes with those qualities. Okay, how'd that go? Let's go this way now. Devyasana, sinking. Good, so we'd like to have the thighs to be as close to parallel with the floor. The toes are out. Now we've got the zipper. Yes, send the arms out. Pull the femur bones in toward each other. And shifting right to left a little bit. Back and forth. And we can take the palms together. And we slowly make our way. Oh, right sit bone to right heel. Just back and forth we go. Good, a full tour through the hips. Okay, so I'm kind of hoping that you have a wall nearby. We'll slowly come up. Draw the legs together. If you don't have a wall, this would be a chance to use the strap, where we'll wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot. And we'll lift the leg up. And then we'll take it out to the side. But if you did have a wall, wouldn't it be great to take the leg right up the wall, have both hip bones forward, find the zip. And if you have the wall, you can then turn your rib cage to the left. The right arm can come to the inside of the leg a little bit. And we turn. See if we can place the outside of the shoulder against the inside of the thigh. Push. Drop the outside of the right sit bone. Some of you can take the palm down at this point. The right palm down. Left arm comes around. See if you can find the bind. Then take the shape of that thing. Okay, you guys who do not have a wall, it's probably time for you to come down, isn't it? And we all unwind. Releasing. And let's take the other side. Good, up we go. And if you're taking it without the wall, right hand to the hip, leg to the side. The sit bones really try to stay level here, lifting up any amount. You know, we're not just pulling the leg up though, the leg is extending through the ball of the foot. You know, it's like one side of that bird of paradise isn't just kind of being propped onto the other one. The whole thing reaches. Everything reaches. And those of you against the wall can lay your body down against the left leg. And you might take the arm now. So you turn the palm back behind you. Take the right arm back. See if you can find the grip. Okay. And those of us freestanding will come down. Good, let's pause for a moment for station identification. Draw the legs together. For once. And legs are completely together, hands on the knees, long spine. And just steady gaze. So a lot of this bird of paradise business is, and all of the standing balance poses, has a lot to do with focusing the mind. When we develop our ability to focus the mind, then we can see the steady stream of thoughts for what they are. Slowly come down onto the seat, take the legs long, because what they are is a steady stream of thoughts, and we see it as opposed to being it, which is like what most of the rest of the day is like. Sit bones root, fold forward first, keep the sit bones rooted, find the zipper. Find the zipper on the front side and on the back side this time. And when you look over at your toes, they turn upward. So steady the gaze again. Watch the breath, watch the mind. Now feel the sit bones as they root slowly rise up. Good. Now some of us have our knees bent here as we fold forward because it's necessary. You could also slide like a bolster underneath your sit bones. From here, we turn to the left and then we lower the torso over the right leg any amount. You could put the fingertips on the floor. See if you can get a little twist here. So there's two ways to do this. You could just fold over the right leg or you can twist. So choose what seems to give you the most that sense. Legs stay strong. Point your toes now. Go ahead, point the toes. Then come back up, flex the feet, turn, twist. Feel the sit bones root, any amount. As you come over to the left, right sit bone is just, it's firm in its commitment. Let's put it that way. Return, keep the zipper. And then point the toes. And notice the shape that you've taken. Can you find a little more room in there? It's not a question of collapsing so that you can go further. It's a question of how vital, how awake can the posture feel. Good, and then slowly we come back. Let's draw the feet in and come up to standing position. Okay, so I think we're ready to try the posture from a standing position. You may know that you need that strap. This time we take the feet hip width apart. We take a look at that bird of paradise and feel that shape. And we feel that shape in our own body. We could very well apply it to a particular situation that we feel a little bit concerned about. This business about showing up fully is really interesting, isn't it? So the sole of the left foot presses, come onto the ball of the foot and send the right arm through the leg. Then turn the rib cage to the left and reach your left arm up. Turn your palm back and the whole arm back toward the back. And then bend your right elbow, see if you've found your hand. Now we steady the gaze and we take the weight into the sole of the left foot. Ready? Up we come. We might be traveling. Okay, up we come. First step is up. Some of us will come up halfway. Some of us are using the strap. And some of us will attempt to straighten the right leg, just like that flower. And what does bold feel like from the inside out? And slowly we lower. How'd that go? See, this is where, if we were in person, I would go, my goodness, that was so great. So I'm going to make that assumption. My goodness, that was so great. Plant your right foot. Left arm through. Turn the whole humerus. Yeah, so thumb turns down, then reach back. Steady the gaze. It's a zip. It's a zip right up. In fact, that zipper will take you up. Keep the zipper. And then open top chest. So you notice, can the heart remain open here as the leg extends any amount? You could still be using the wall. You could own it, own it. We don't own anything. Slowly release. Come all the way down. And come to Malasana. Okay, that was an adventure, wasn't it? Such a beautiful posture, and what a great teacher that flower is. Okay, so let's move into crow pose, because it's a natural, we've done all this work now. Also for crow, the palms are down, fingers are spread wide, index fingers forward. Okay, so treat crow from the inside out, where you zip up the front, zip it right up, keep that zipper, feel the breath free in the upper back. Elbows could be bent if we're working on this. Keep the zipper, fingertips grab the floor, they're your little rudders, feet lift off, upper back broadens, breath is free. And slowly release. Pause. Turn the palms out. Roll the wrists if you wish. We'll do one more. So lots of dynamics in this posture. Some of us will go on to crane. Crane means arms become legs. Arms are straight, knees into armpits. Look forward a lot. Bolster could be helpful if you're concerned about your head. And up we come. Feel the zipper. And slowly come back down. Good. Let's open the wrists a little bit. Take hold of the big toes with middle and index fingers. Extend the legs however much they will extend. Drop the shoulders. And notice here too that there are some bird of paradise inclinations, associations. That V and the certainty of that. Even with the knees bent, feel that from the inside. Then the legs can go wide. We come forward on the sit bones. The shoulders drop. Couple more breaths where it's really vibrant from the inside out. You know, there's the physical part, but then there's what we bring to it. Have you ever shown up in a situation where your body's there, but you're not all the way there? Very common. Soles of the feet together, the knees go wide, and now gradually fold forward. Keeping the spine long, the torso zipped, it's an interesting question. What is it that, from a yoga standpoint, what is it that we bring to the moment? Well, we bring our physical self. We bring our breath and our energy, our sense of energy, whether we're feeling moved and inspired or we're feeling kind of down, that's always present in the breath. And then we bring our mental self. And if we've got some sense of self-awareness, we bring our intuitive self, open and inquiring. And then slowly we come up. Great. Okay. Now let's come into this sort of Janu-Sirsasana to the side. So we've brought the foot into the inside. The right foot is flexed. And we turn again to the left. Lengthen, zip, fold. Keep the left sit bone rooted. This growing side body. So we bring our physical self and the breath body and the steady stream of thoughts and our intuitive self, and then we also can bring, if we've got contact with it, it's the joy of being alive self when we're hanging out in that moment of knowing, my God, I'm here self, which we all share. We all share in that. Whether we're aware of that at any given time, that's up to us. Slowly rise. Have you been with people before where maybe you were doing something and you all kind of came to the conclusion at once, oh my God, we're here, Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting. It's like despite circumstance, despite skin color and sex and life, at the bottom of it, it's all the same. I might receive some slack for that, but from a yogic perspective, it's right there. Okay, slowly extend, root again, grow side body. And do it the way you do it, so it feels really good in your body. Nobody knows that but you. Okay, so we've done some decent work here. We'll slowly, we need to spend a little more time on this side. I'm totally ripping it off, just a sec. And then up we come. We have to take boat pose because, do you see in that shape the boat? Now knees can be bent again, but boom. So we have these 5 selves, right? The physical body, our sense of energy and vitality, thought stream, open to the moment, so we're listening, which is sort of the intuitive. And then check it out. This moment, we are here. Right? Otherwise known as the koshas. We are here, 5 bodies. And then slowly we come down. Let's roll all the way onto our back. Setting ourselves up for another bird of paradise-like experience. So decide, at this point you might decide you want to have a block under your sit bones because we're coming into supported bridge. That could be a nice way to work. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inner thighs are a little magnet-like. Push. Find the zipper and the sense of openness. So we're always balancing contrasting forces. In fact, we're learning how to do that physically so that we can learn how to do that mentally and emotionally. Because life is complicated. We're learning to balance and hold the beauty and the sorrow, the tragic, both. It's just not one or the other. So find a sense of opposites here. And if you wish to go on, right foot moves to midline and left leg extends. And then with this, that sense of like, yes, bird of paradise. And left foot down and right leg extends. And right foot down, and we all come down onto the back, soles of the feet together, knees wide, and we just open. And so when we talk about opening, well, the physical body's doing that. We open the breath. See if we can even soften and relax the breath. Open the mind. Any beliefs that are kind of contracting us, see if we can open the mind. And open to not knowing. Open a little more to not knowing. And then open to this right here, right now. Okay, so this is why backbending is not a heart opening practice necessarily at all. That work of the internal opening has to happen for there to be any heart opening, and heart opening can happen anytime, anywhere. That's up to us, yes? We slowly bring the legs in. We could return to that, the bridge. Some of us will go on to wheel. We've made that choice. The hips can lift, the hands under the shoulders. Look at your arms. So you see your upper arm bones are parallel. Come lightly onto the top of the head. Up we go. Okay, so it's the same idea. The right foot comes to midline. And the left leg extends up like a toes trying to reach for the sun. Great deal of I am a bird of paradise. And left foot might come down, right leg extends. You may be in the bridge variation again. Wherever you are practicing 5 bodies. Opening. Good, down we come slowly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. Take the arms like a diamond shape above you, so your fingertip and your index finger and your thumb tips touch, and then just close the eyes. So we're still probably, I think of it like Western yoga, physical alignment-based practice. Cool. Then breath. Noticing in our life what gives us more energy and placing ourselves, choosing to place ourselves around that which makes us feel vital and alive. And then mind, taking time every day to observe the mind. We call that meditation. Remember that we're sitting at the bank of a river of mind. Then letting go of being so sure about stuff, relaxing belief and opening, listening internally. to that wise self inside. We call that the heart. And then dropping into the moment, this moment. No other moment but this one. Good, then taking your hands around your thighs, draw the knees in. Take your arms wide like cactus, roll legs out to the side, and you might extend the legs. Feel the bird of paradise here. Such a great name, isn't it? The bird of paradise. Feel the breath slip into spaces in the body that it hasn't been yet. And then when you're ready, come to the other side. Knees over, extend, maybe turn. And then open. And releasing the legs. Let's come onto our back. Time for Savasana, yes. Lying back. And see if you can find, as you relax the physical body, physical body relax completely, possible. Remembering that we are not the breather, we are being breathed. We have a responsibility to that, yes, sacred energy inside us. What are the ways that we know right now we could support our own vitality? And then watching the steady stream of thought. One reason we love this practice so much is thoughts calm through moving the body and the breath together and focusing the mind. You might let the mind rest in the heart. We're all learning how to do that right now. It's a game changer. Imagine walking through your day with your mind resting in your heart. And then with awareness of the steady stream of thoughts, notice that you can direct your inner listening to your heart. So the heart speaks when it wants to. That's why we always got a little bit of our inner ear listening. And we give ourselves to the successive moments of now. As in, it's great to be alive. we take a few deeper breaths. Some of us may choose to stay right here. And we slowly bring one knee at a time into the chest, wrap the arms around the legs. Give ourselves a hug, all 5 selves. Roll to one side, let the head rest. And then we slowly come up to a comfortable seat. With a long spine, zipped right up, heart wide open. You see if you can feel that from the inside out. It's a question we can ask ourselves through the day. Where's my heart right now? Let's draw the palms together at the heart. Good, so going forward into the days, this day, and days and weeks and months, I hope I get to see you live. But let's seal our practice with a chant to generosity, to integrity and patience, letting go often, the joyful effort of regular practice, and the wisdom inside us. Bring the hands to the forehead, right thought, may we be steady and present and joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech, may our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action, may we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste. Okay, well, like I said, I'm really grateful that you came, and I always love to see who's here. And there's a lot of things you could be doing on your Saturday morning, and the fact that you dedicate yourself to your practice. I was thinking about it last night as I was going to sleep, that practice is much like, we're like batteries. You know, it's not like we practice and get to a point where we've just achieved. Practice is required, and we're like batteries, and we basically go and get charged, and then we go on, and you know, we're hooking into some source, and it's really cool, and I'm so glad to be hooking into source with you. So I'll see you soon, and I better see you soon. All right, take care.